I made a dress, I loved it, so I made it again. And now I'm here to spill the tea. Hey Stitchers, it's your girl Kris. Welcome on in if you're new here, or welcome back to the channel if you happen to be an OG. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy that you decided to click on today's video, which is going to be a little bit of the behind the scenes making of my Simplicity 9702, and then of course a full pattern review and a make review. And those two things are not always synonymous. Now, a couple years ago, I made Simplicity 9702, I want to say maybe in 2023 or 2024. At that time, it was a fairly new release, and I fell in love with the style lines of this pattern. Now, Simplicity 9702 is an empire waisted dress. It has varying lengths and a couple of sleeve options. Back then, I went with the short dress version and I did the puff sleeves. And I have honestly worn that dress to death. Every opportunity I have had to wear it, I have. And I have dressed it all the way down and have sought to dress it up to make it a little bit more elegantly casual. I love the dress so much that last year in 2025, when I was looking through my pattern stash, I had decided that I wanted to remake some oldies but goodies, things that I had made in the past, had done all of the groundwork for, traced off my pattern pieces, made my fitting adjustments, sewed it up, loved it, and then shelved the pattern. That kind of didn't make sense to me anymore. And so I dug out those patterns and decided to give them a second chance at life because, as I said, all of the groundwork had already been done. Now, Simplicity 9702, the second version, kind of turned out to be my unintentional Christmas dress, and you'll see why when you have a chance to pre my fabric. Now, before I jump in and start telling you everything there is to know about this pattern and my make, let me just go ahead and pause this video right here so you can see a little bit of the behind the scenes action and some making in progress of my dress. All right. Rewind. All my pattern pieces have been cut and prepped, and now I'm ready to start sewing Simplicity 9702. All right, booze, time for a quick try on. I feel like I'm getting sick though. My eyes have been running. I feel congested. I have been sneezing. I rebuke this. I rebuke this every single Christmas without failure. Your girl ends up sick. What can I say? My kids go to school. They bring home every single thing. And inevitably, I end up sick as well. Anyways, about my dress. This is a quick try on, and I'm really, really happy with how she's looking so far. I did go ahead and add some pockets. Let me see if I can push you guys back just a little bit so that hopefully you can now see where the dress ends. I did cut another tier. This one is quite short. Can I find it? Can I find it? Like, this is the tier, but I'm wondering if I want said tier. Now, I do quite like to have some leg action going on, and because this is like a baby doll style dress, it's an empire line dress, it's very loosey-goosey. I'm a little bit weary about making it too long and then ending up looking like a granny. I don't like that vibe at all. I have been trying to embrace some longer lengths this year, but I don't know. I think I'm going to do the sleeves first, then try the dress on, and that will give me a better idea of whether or not I want to go ahead and lengthen it. But yeah, so far, so good. All right, boos, I'm back. I have sleeves. Look at these sleeves. Aren't they cute? Oh. When I was looking at the line drawings the first time I made this dress, I was like betwixt and between about the sleeves. I wasn't sure how I felt about like this ruffle situation. And I was like, girl, try something new. And I did it. And I loved it. I think they suit this style of dress perfectly. And so I've gone ahead and added it in. And I think I'm even more convinced now that this dress needs to be a short dress. Now, I only have, as I think I told you before, a 6-inch piece of fabric. By the time that I attach it using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, then it will be 1.25 inches between the dress and this piece shorter, but still it would be long enough, I gather, to hit me like just below the knee. I'm not sure if I like how that sounds. As I'm trying to visualize it, I'm not sure if I like how it looks either. I feel like if I were going to lengthen this dress, I feel like it needs to be like a serious maxi dress, like floor length. And I definitely don't have enough fabric to do that. And so I'm still thinking about it. I'm going to have a cup of tea and ponder on it a little bit more. And then maybe, just maybe, I will be able to make up my mind. At the moment, I'm heading in the direction of leaving it as is and just slapping my hem on and calling it George. But I don't know. I might be persuaded. I did put a post over on Instagram in my channel. I do have an Instagram channel. So if you're on Instagram and you're not following me, then maybe go ahead and follow me. And if you're already following me, but you're not in my channel, then maybe go ahead and join my channel. It's free. And I like to share more behind the scenes in my channel. And so I did put this one up for a poll with the folks in my channel. And maybe by the time I'm finished drinking my tea, they would have decided, and so would I. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. She's done, you guys. And I freaking love my dress. Now, in the last clip, I was having a little bit of indecision about the finished length. So let me show you guys what I went with. Drum roll, please. I decided to keep it short and cute. Oh my goodness. You guys know I really, really love some leg action. And for this one, I just thought that adding the additional tier, because of how short it was going to give me a dress that was an awkward length and give me kind of like Mumu vibes. And I was just not here for that. So I went with my gut feeling and short dress, legs out it is. Now, I really, really, really would have loved to embrace a full length dress in this fabric. I think this one in a maxi length would have been uber chic, but I just could not pull it out of the fabric that I had left. Nonetheless, I am quite happy with my finished dress. I think that it is cute and sexy, and it made for a fantastic Christmas dress because of the print. No, I think I could wear it all year round. Nonetheless, it was not intended to be a Christmas dress. But when I started working on it and I saw the reds and the pinks, they just kind of gave me a Christmas vibe. But you bet your bottom dollar that I am going to be rocking this dress all year long. Now, before I share my personal thoughts about my finished make, let me just grab the pattern and let us talk through the views available and the sizing. Now for this pattern, I actually have a printed pattern envelope. Typically, I have a lot of my patterns now in PDF copy, but this is one of the ones that I think I probably picked up back when Joanne was a thing. It would have been on one of my trips to the United States of America, and I popped in and I grabbed this pattern. Now the pattern envelope that I went with is the size band 18 up to 26. There is a smaller size band. I think it is from 8 up to 16. So the smaller one is 8 to 16, and this one is 18 up to 26. Now, my body measurements put me at a size, well, between the size 18 and the 20 for the bust, a size 20 for the waist, and then a size 18 for the hip. I actually did a size 18 in its entirety just because this is a very loose fitting dress. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I manually graded down the neckline, the shoulders, and the arm side of this pattern to the size 16. I did not have the smaller envelope, and there was no way in hell that I was going to buy the other pattern envelope just for one size. So I went right around my pattern and I reduced the length and the width at the neckline, the arm side, and the shoulders. I think that that has improved the fit on my body type. I feel like if I had sewn up the straight size 18, it would have been way too big for me around the neckline area. Now, in addition to grading down at the neckline, the arm side, and the shoulders, I did go ahead and do some standard fitting adjustments so far as working with the big five patterns are concerned. Most of the big five patterns, I have to make these adjustments. One or two, I might have to tweak it just a little bit, but I can pretty much close my eyes now and sort of anticipate the adjustments that I'm going to need to make. And for that reason, I did not sew a toile of this dress. That and the fact that I had sewn this dress once before. Now, I went ahead and did a 1/2 inch sloping shoulder adjustment. I do have very terrible posture, and when I sew patterns up without doing a sloping shoulder adjustment, I find that they are too close up under my armpit and then they gape away right at the top of my shoulder. Now, if you think you might need this adjustment, but you have no idea what to do, there is a fitting series here on the channel called Fit Happens, and I did share some more information about a sloping shoulder and about a forward shoulder adjustment should you need them. So I'll go ahead and pop the video in here, finish watching this video first, and then go back and click through to that video. Now, in addition to doing my sloping shoulder adjustment, I also removed a 1/4 inch on my front bodice only between the shoulder line and the bust, and that was simply to rotate my shoulder seam a little bit more forward. Again, without this adjustment, I find that the fit around my neckline is not quite right, and I find that my garments slip towards my back. So I did go ahead and remove that additional length between the shoulder line and the bust line. Now, because I did that on my front bodice piece, I also had to go in and make the adjustment to my front sleeve piece just in the same way, removing a 1/4 inch in length from the arm side of my front sleeve only. Now, I did go ahead and do a 1/4 inch sway back adjustment. This is another adjustment that I almost always need, and that is because I do have a deep curve in my back, and that just removes some additional length right at my center back and stops the fabric from pooling down there. And I think I shortened this bodice by 1/2 an inch. Now, even though this is an empire line dress, I wanted to make sure that the side seams hit me in my natural waist. I feel like getting that waist placement is one of the very minute fitting adjustments that you can do that packs a huge, huge punch. I always want to make sure that my waist is in the right position. So I did go ahead and remove a 1/2 an inch from my bodice pieces. Now, another adjustment that I did to this make only is I went in and I raised my V-neck by an inch. Imagine if I hadn't done that, you guys. I raised this by an inch, and look at this. My boobs are still in your face. Not that I mind too much because I don't feel like it is indecent exposure, but the girls are there, and I bet your bottom dollar you can see them. So if you're going to make up this dress, then I would definitely recommend you going ahead and raising your neckline just a wee bit, or more than a wee bit, depending on your preference, just to make sure that you're not uncomfortable with the amount of cleavage that is on display. Now, I think those were all of the fitting adjustments and the aesthetic adjustment that I made to this pattern. I made up view C, but I shortened it, not on purpose, by not doing the last tier, only because, as you've heard me say, I did not have enough fabric. But I would have loved, loved, loved to have made this version in the maxi length. And I'm low-key like adding it to the list of things I want to remake once again, because as I said, I really love this dress. I love how it flows, which is sort of strange for me because typically I don't like the oversized, floaty, loose dress type of vibe. I much prefer to have something with some waist definition, and where I make a loose dress, I'm probably 9 times out of 10 going to belt it. That is not the case with this silhouette. Something about it I find to be very, very flattering on my body. It just gives me this baby doll, sexy-ish vibes. And for some reason, I am embracing it all, like all of it. And that is like, oh, for me, really, really is shocking. Now, this pattern has multiple sleeve options. View A has like it's not a puff sleeve because there's no gathering at the sleeve head. It's just gathered down at the wrist. So I would say maybe like a balloon sleeve, and it has a collar. View B has a longer sleeve, and then it has like a ruffle situation going on round at the wrist line. And then view C, the last view, is a maxi length version with the puff sleeve that you can see here on my dress. Now, in terms of sewing up this pattern, it did not give me a lot of headache at all. Maybe because I had constructed it before, I had a good idea of what I wanted to do. And the only issue I had really was trying to figure out the finished length of my dress. Now, in terms of wearing it, I found it easy to wear. I actually wore this one on Christmas Day, but I did not get any footage of it. My house was like a zoo on Christmas Day. My children were overly stimulated. My husband was tired from playing in the Calypso shows. If you had watched my Vlogmas, then you know that Christmas in my household is a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. And Christmas Day was no exception. We did have family dinner. My cousin and my uncle were here from overseas, and I hosted. Everybody came around, and I thought that that would be a great place to debut my dress. I felt comfortable even though I was in front of a small crowd of people, even though I was moving around a lot. I did not feel like my boobs were slipping out or sloshing about all over the place. I felt just fine, and as I said, I really do like my finished dress. Now, in terms of rating it, I would probably give this one like a 4.5 out of 5. I don't even know why I'm not giving it a 5. Maybe I could stand to raise the neckline by maybe an inch more to make it 2 inches. As I said, I did not feel uncomfortable, but just for a little bit more modesty, I could consider doing that in the future. Everything else about this dress, I love it. And as far as this fabric is concerned, it probably is one of my favorite fabrics of all time. I love this pink and red combination. Actually, as I'm talking to you guys, I probably could get away with wearing this one as a Valentine's Day dress as well. Now, when I'm recording it, Valentine's is right around the corner. I don't really celebrate Valentine's. I feel like you should love on me every single day of the year. Like, come on. But if I were to go on a Valentine's Day date, which I'm probably not going to, then I could get away with wearing this dress because of the colors and the arrangement of the colors on this dress. Now, I know when you're watching it, Valentine's would have long come and gone. I haven't quite worked out my schedule yet. I don't think I'm doing a good job at being a 2026 content creator, but I'm going to keep chugging along nonetheless. But the point is, I feel like this would have been suitable for Valentine's Day as well as Christmas. And in my mind, actually, it's going to be suitable all year around. If you want to make up this dress pattern, I would definitely recommend using a flowy and floaty and drapey type of fabric, notwithstanding that the fabric suggestions actually talk about poplin, gauze, cotton blends, and linen. In my view, like a poplin will be quite stiff and almost give a kind of tent-like vibe. At least it is in my mind. I don't think I would make this dress for myself in poplin. I would definitely try it in gauze. Gauze is one of those fabrics that I discovered a couple years ago just how magical it is. And I have since embraced it and now have a couple of pieces in my stash. So I definitely would consider making this one up in a gauze. I could make it up in a cotton blend depending on the blend. And I feel like a great linen or a rayon linen will be perfect, perfect, perfect for this dress. So fabric choice is definitely going to be important. And the finished look and feel of this garment is going to be different depending on how structured or how drapey your fabric choice is. Poplin is definitely going to be easier to work with, but a rayon or linen rayon or gauze is definitely going to give you a much more pleasing look. Right, so I think that is all of the tea I needed to spill on this dress. I'm definitely going to be making this one sometime again in the future. I just don't know when, so I'm not going to put a timeline on it for today's video. But if you enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes making of this dress and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this pattern, then be sure to go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down below and let me know, what do you think of the finished length of my dress? Do you agree that this particular fabric would have been absolutely amazing in the maxi length version? Or are you low-key like me and you love to show a little bit of leg? Weigh in down below in the comment section. Now, if you have gotten this far in today's video and you're not a subscriber, then I would definitely encourage you to subscribe and join my YouTube family. I am on a mission this year to seriously grow my family. Like, I have been working hard, diligently going along at this channel for the last 2 years, and I love the tribe that I have been able to attract so far. I love being able to have conversations with you guys down below in the comment section, but I would love my videos to reach an even wider audience, and I can only do that with your help. So if you're watching this video for the first time and you enjoyed it, then subscribe to the channel. And if you're already a subscriber, then be sure to go ahead and hype this video up. Let the YouTube algorithm know that your girl is a must-see for tons and tons and tons of other people. Now, that is everything I needed to share with you guys about Simplicity 9702. If you have made this dress as well, let me know in the comments section. And if you're over on Instagram, then send me a couple of pictures. Let me see what you've made. I know you guys love seeing what I have made, but I would like to see your versions of some of the patterns that I have made as well. And Instagram is the best bet for doing that. Right. Until next time, you guys, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and absolutely keep sewing. Peace.